Welcome to the Shreveport Connection. This is Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results and main event spoilers, since there's no longer superstars. And start off with the video is birthdays. Would have been 87th birthday of former United States Tag Team Champion Chris Tolos. Larry Zbyszko on Twitter is Larry Whistler. He turned 65 years old. Dynamite Kid Tom Billington turned 58. Brooke Adams turned 32 on Sunday. Victor from the Ascension, real name of Eric Johnson, turned 36 on Sunday. Sylvester Turkey turned 46 on Saturday. Ricky Koshu, real name of Mitsuyo Yoshida, turned 65 on Saturday. Super Crazy from WCW days. I'm crazy, I'm super crazy. Real name of Francisco Islas Rueda, turns 43 on Saturday. The late Ray Candy was born December 3rd, 1951, died of a heart attack at the age of 42 on May 2nd, 1994. The newest trailer for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, starring Batista, which is released on May the 7th and features former as Drax the Destroyer. This link. Dark matches that were advertised from Raw event were Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho. World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles suffered what was described as a minor ankle injury in the main event of WWE TLC on Sunday night. Styles was pulled from the ring at a live event from Tyler over the weekend and Tyler, Texas, and did not appear. PW Insider reported that Styles was pulled as a precautionary measure after he hurt his ankle at TLC. The main event of the Tyler show saw Dean Ambrose face Dolph Ziggler and WWE Intercontinental Champion The Miz in a triple threat match. AJ is currently scheduled to defend against James Ellsworth on SmackDown from Houston. And stay tuned for the SmackDown results for a picture link of the injury. Thanks to Billy Martin for the following live event results from Monday show with Tyler. I'm speaking about Jack Swagger, Apollo Crews and Zack Ryder, and Mojo Rawley defeated Connor, Victor, Simon Gotch, and Aiden English in tag team action. Baron Corbin defeated Kalisto with the end of days. Kurt Hawkins came out to take advantage, but lost to Kalisto in a quick match. Nikki Bella defeated Carmella and Natalya in a triple threat. Kane, Chad Gable, and Jason Jordan defeated SmackDown Tag Team Champions Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton and Luke Harper in six-man action. Heath Slater and Rhino defeated Tyler Breeze and Fandango. SmackDown's Women's Champion Alexa Bliss retained over Becky Lynch in a really good match. Intercontinental Champion The Miz retained over Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler in the triple threat main event, which saw James Ellsworth run out to distract Ambrose and Ziggler, allowing Miz to get the win. AJ Styles was off the show due to an ankle injury. Well, Hall of Famer Edge has recently spoke with Sports Illustrated. And here are the highlights. On plans WWE had for him, I was champion and I wanted to pass this on to whomever it was eventually. So it really hit home when I was told we're not going to allow you to compete anymore. We did have a tentative plan to go forward once Alberto Del Rio and I were through our program. Christian would have cost me the title to Del Rio, and then we would have moved on and done our thing. And I thought he would retire me at WrestleMania. That's how I wanted to go out. I wanted to do the favor, drop the title, and then have Christian to be the cause. Then spend the final few months of my career wrestling, my lifelong best friend, and really have him go off in a great heel direction once I retired. In comments on Jeff Hardy, the fact that he is still able to move at this point is amazing. He's made such a plaster scene. Even just his energy. He's very loose. He's an easygoing guy, and maybe that translated to his body being able to absorb all the punishment through the years. I don't know, but he's still going. And that's a fact. On who he would like to wrestle, if you put heel rated R superstar, he'd go with Sami Zayn as a babyface. That would be something I'd like to do. Seth is already set and already in position where he's okay. But if I ever came back, I'd like to wrestle somebody that I feel deserves to be in a top spot and show why. Sami is a guy I look at and go, man, that guy is super talented. I'd love to get in there as a heel with Jeff Hardy. I love wrestling Jeff in terms of his selling and all those things, or a match against Christian. And that was the end of his highlight interview. Yoshihiro Tajiri announced on Twitter that he will be returning to WWE in 2017. As he noted that he got the okay from William Regal to make the announcement, he added that his final date in Japan will be December 27th. Tajiri competed in the WWE Cruiserweight Classic earlier this year. Thus it would be seemingly likely that he will become a regular in the division and on the 205 live television show. WWE Network schedule no longer lists the Raw or SmackDown pre-shows. There has been no official announcement regarding the status of the pre-shows, which are broadcast on the WWE Network and various social media platforms. WWE is advertising Goldberg for the first edition of Raw 2017. The event takes place on January 2nd in Tampa, Florida at Amalie Arena. World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles from a live correspondent from the TLC show as the show went off the air. AJ fell to the mat and was selling a right leg injury. So it's the right leg ankle. A trainer rushed to the ring to check on AJ, but he did walk away on his own, noticeably but limping. In an update, Dave Meltzer noted that Styles did suffer a minor ankle injury. According to WWE officials, Styles was tended to after the match in the back. No word yet on if he will miss any ring time. Well, already said that he did. Contracts of War Machine, Jay Lethal, BJ Whitmer, Steve Corino, Bobby Cruz, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish will expire soon from Ring of Honor. Jay Lethal is also expected to re-sign with the company, as Steve Corino has already departed from Ring of Honor and is headed to the WWE Performance Center as a coach. His deal has not expired yet with Ring of Honor, so for some reason his WWE job doesn't work out, he could still resign. Young Bucks helped bring Matt Hardy video to Ring of Honor, which aired during the Final Battle event. The two teams have been waiting to work together for some time now to create something special. It's hoped that they will feud in Lakeland, Florida over WrestleMania 33 weekend. NXT spoilers, thanks to Paul Moss, and on Twitter at SNKXWWE for the following spoilers taped from Full Sail University. December 7th episode. NXT Tag Team Champions Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa came out to a pop and greeted fans throughout the crowd. They entered the ring for a promo, but the Authors of Pain came out before they could talk. Paul Ellering spoke from the top of the ramp about how they should be champions, but the Revival's music hit, and out they come to the stage. Fan chant, "You tapped out," as they headed to the ring. Dawson started talking about getting their rematch. Authors came down the ramp and pushed the Revival down. Ellering got back on the mic and said, "The next chapter will read the Authors of Pain and the next NXT champ as the next NXT Tag Team Champions." Authors then the Revival head back up the ramp. DIY leaves the ring without ever getting the mic. Alexander Wolf and Eric Young defeated No Way Jose and Cruiserweight Champion Rich Swann. Crowd popped for everyone during the entrance. Before the match, Young stomped on Sawyer Fullerton's jacket and threw it out of the ring. Sanity dominated most of the match, beating down Swann for a long period of time. Jose got a hot tag and cleaned house. Big Damo showed up outside of the ring and slammed Jose against the ring post. EY pulled Jose into the ring and hit a modified cutter neckbreaker for the pin. Damo left by himself up the ramp and choked a sanity jacket on the ground. It was not clear if he's with them or not. Ember Moon defeated Kimberly, who was used as an enhancement talent. She actually got some offense in, but Ember howled and hit her finisher for the quick win. Tucker Knight and Otis Dozovic defeated enhancement talents Johnny Knockout and Braden Knight. Crowd chanted "Big Sweaty Men" as Otis and Tucker dominated the match. Otis hit his finisher for the win. They were both very over with the crowd and worked well together. Very agile. And that concluded December 7th. Spoiler. December 14th, Ty Dillinger comes out and it's announced that there will be 4 matches to decide who will compete in a fatal 4-way to decide the new number 1 contender, which Eric Young and Sanity were out next. Young versus Ty lasted about a minute as Nikki cross interferes and attacked Dillinger. Dillinger won by disqualification. Big Damo shows up again and decimates Dillinger in the ring. Damo walks up the ramp, past Sanity, and leaves on his own again. It should be noted that Sawyer Fullerton has been absent on this taping. Andre Cien almost defeated No Way Jose to qualify for the fatal 4-way. It was a good back and forth match. Almost hit a modified DDT for the win. Roger Strong defeated Elias Sampson to qualify for the fatal 4-way. Sampson was booed mercifully as he played his guitar. Elias got in a bunch of early offense, but Strong got the pin in around 3 minutes. Seems like they're bringing back the Van Hammer gimmick in NXT. For those that don't know, Van Hammer was a WCW talent. Bobby Roode defeated One Lorcan to qualify for the fatal 4-way. Lorcan got a good pop from the crowd, but nothing compared to Roode. It was glorious. Lorcan got some stiff European uppercuts in, and Roode hit a glorious drop for the win. Peyton Royce defeated Sarah Bridges, formerly known as Crazy Mary Dobson. Bridges looked very impressive with early offense, as was over with the crowd. Royce ended up getting the pin with a fisherman's suplex. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Patrick Clark in an under 4-minute match. There was some flamboyant comedy by Clark, but Nakamura ended the match quickly. December 21st, spoiler. Billy Kay defeated Daria with a big boot finisher thanks to an outside interference from Peyton Royce. Billy took the mic after the match, but the crowd drowns her out with boos. The match lasted about 3 minutes, if it went that far. Authors of Pain squashed 2 enhancement talents. This was a serious beatdown. The referee stopped the match before they could hit their finisher. Trainers came out and checked on one of them. One of the wrestlers, Paul Ellering, got on the mic and says they don't care who they face, DIY or the Revivals. They will be winning the titles in San Antonio at TakeOver. Bobby Roode defeated Andre Cien Almas, Ty Dillinger, and Roger Strong in a fatal 4-way elimination match to become the new number 1 contender. Strong and Almas were in the ring a lot early on. Lots of stiff shots by Almas. First elimination came at 11 minutes 20 seconds as Strong pinned Almas. Second elimination came in at 13 minutes when Ty pinned Strong. Roode then pinned Dillinger at the 18-minute 25-second mark to become the new number 1 contender. Tag team champions Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa retained over Dash and Dawson in their TakeOver Toronto rematch. A good back and forth match. As always, between these two teams, DIY dominated more than they did at TakeOver. They hit the finisher about the 12-minute mark to retain and end the taping. House of Hardcore 21, the Blizzard Brawl from Waukesha, Wisconsin at the Waukesha Expo Center, reported by Blake Riley from the Blake and Sal Show. Bull James defeated Kevin Throne. Bull came out wearing a cheese head to the delight of the crowd. He won with a pedigree on the cheese head. Max Striker beat Connor Braxton. Striker eyed a crazy dance-off that included Katie Forbes. He won with a roll-up while Braxton was performing a giant swing on one of Striker's dancing girls on a hoverboard. Yeah, match striker formerly of WWE. Mr. Anderson defeated the saddest. Anderson won with a mic check. Colt Cabana defeated Danny Dugan. Cabana won with a roll-up. Matt Cross defeated Tony Nese. Yeah, Tony Nese, who's with NXT Cruiserweight. Cross won with a shooting star press. Tommy Dreamer and Mickie James defeated Angelina Love and Aiden O'Shea. Mickie pinned Angelina after Tommy Dreamer hit the package pile driver on her. Afterwards, Mutasva returned to the ring, being sent to the back during the match, and attacked Dreamer and Mickie. Hornswoggle jumped up and got attacked. Ryback came down for the save. Dreamer cut a promo telling a story about each of the people in the match. Very awesome moment. Sami Callihan beat Bob Holly by submission. Afterwards, Holly hit the Alabama Slam on JT Davidson. Al Snow and David Hero defeated Abyss and Damian Nelson in the last ever GLCW Steel Cage match. During the match, two men came down to attack Snow and Hero. Sandman came out for the save with his full entrance, beer and all. Hero pinned Nelson for the win. A very fun show, worth the money. There will be a full audio show report on Thursday morning on the Wrestling Room at theblakeandsouthshow.com. Ring of Honor TV tapings from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the 2300 Arena, courtesy of Totally Over Podcast and PW Ponderings. The Tempura Boys of Show and Yo defeated Coast to Coast, Leon St. Giovanni, and Shaheem Ali in a YouTube exclusive. And episode 1, Christopher Daniels defeated Mark Briscoe in a Decade of Excellence tournament. First round match. Leo Rush defeated Caprice Coleman. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Dalton Castle defeated Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Deanna Purrazzo defeated Sumi Saki. Jay Briscoe defeated BJ Whitmer in a Decade of Excellent tournament. First round match. Episode 2, Beer City Bruiser and Silas Young defeated Alex Reynolds and John Silver. After the match, there was an interaction with Bull James, who ended up being frog splashed by the Bruiser, with Silas Young following up with Misery. The Kingdom defeated Will Ferreira, Cheeseburger, and Joey Daddygo. Chris Sabin defeated Colt Cabana in a Decade of Excellent tournament. First round match. Young Bucks came out, cut a promo during which Broken Matt Hardy's Vanguard 1 interrupted, and they found a way to super kick it. Episode 3, Leo Rush, Jay White, and Donovan Dijak defeated Kenny King, Caprice Coleman, and Rhett Titus. Cody Rhodes defeated Steve Corino. Jay Lethal defeated Jushin Thunder Liger in a Decade of Excellent tournament first round match. Taylor Hendricks defeated Mandy Leon in a Fight Without Honor match. Taylor, in my opinion, should be in WWE right now. Be a great match. Put her on SmackDown. Get her to face off against former champion Becky Lynch. The Battle of the Redheads. Episode 4, Marty Scurll defeated Jonathan Gresham, formerly of WWE. Christopher Daniels defeated Chris Sabin in a Decade of Excellent tournament second round match. Kushida defeated Dragon Lee and Will Ospreay in a three-way dance, as seen at WWE TLC. Also, there was a wardrobe malfunction that left some of his backside exposed. AJ posted the following to Instagram, noting that the problem has been fixed. He also responded to a fan that said it wasn't a malfunction, as his gear and butt cheek were cut up on a steel chair. What did WWE Stars do before Raw? Well, like I said, on AJ Styles, he commented, "It was not a malfunction. My gear and butt cheek were sliced by a bent-up chair. As you can see by the seam," I think I got a picture or something of it, and you all were in no danger of seeing my butthole. Well, Titus O'Neil of WWE comments to WWE Cesaro, and I had to hashtag get on it at on it Academy before WWE Raw. Post a picture of that. It's Raw tonight. We're just two handsome bald guys like to throw grown men around. Well, it's Bailey. WWE posted a thank you at On It Academy for having us this morning. Still Mace class with Eric is no joke. Ready for hashtag Raw. Aaron Solo at GoGoACH at On It on Twitter. I think I got a picture of Bailey as well and other guys. Hall of Famer Trish Stratus revealed on Lillian Garcia's latest podcast that she is expecting a baby girl. She previously announced her second pregnancy by Twitter, but is just now revealing the gender. The WWE taped the following matches in Austin for this week's main event episode. Bo Dallas defeated Sin Cara. Darren Young defeated Jinder Mahal. Raw pre-show can be found at this link. Raw opened up with a video package highlighting last week's show where Roman Reigns defeated Kevin Owens to earn a shot at the WWE Universal Championship at Roadblock. No mention of the Sasha Banks versus Charlotte main event from last week. Seth Rollins addressed Triple H. We go live to Austin where Seth Rollins is out to kick off the show. Rollins has something to get off his chest tonight. I want Triple H. We knew that was coming. He talks about putting together the Shield, and when the time was right, I had to dismantle the Shield. Rollins talks about the Triple H making choices, and he chose to bet against Seth Rollins. He says Triple H decided to anoint Kevin Owens. Rollins said that he sent a message to Triple H last week when he attacked Chris Jericho. He would have loved to call Triple H out right now, but he's smarter than that. Rollins poses the question, how do you get to Triple H? He said it's very simple. I beat Kevin Owens and I take the WWE Universal Championship. Rollins talks about Chris Jericho still being part of the equation if he wants to get to Owens. As the Universal Champion, Kevin Owens is out to interrupt. Rollins cuts him off and says he is glad he came out here. He wants to know how Chris Jericho is and how the friendship is going. Owens says it's rude to interrupt people. He admits to having a fight with Jericho last week. Sometimes best friends fight. Owens says Rollins wouldn't know that since he doesn't have any friends and brings up Rollins stabbing the Shield in the back. He adds that best friends make up, and that is what matters. Rollins assumes that Jericho has returned the texts and phone calls Owens has made. Owens tells Rollins he doesn't have to worry about that. He figures Jericho was busy recovering from the attack last week. Owens said he kept busy getting Jericho multiple gifts for Christmas. 3 gifts in total. He talks about being sick of hearing people say he doesn't deserve the Universal Championship. Owens says he's a fighting champion and said the only reason Roman Reigns beat him was because of Rollins. He said he was distracted the whole match after seeing Rollins attack Jericho. Fight Owens fight, that's me. Rollins said if Owens is a fighting champion that he should put his title on the line against him right here tonight. Owens then asked the crowd if they would like to see that happen. He said that isn't happening and defending his title against him 2 weeks ago and won. Owens said that he actually has a match thanks to the stupid Mick Foley against Sami Zayn tonight. He mentions being forced to defend his title against Reigns at Roadblock. Owens says this brings him to the Christmas gifts for Jericho. He said he talked to Stephanie McMahon and secured a match between Jericho and Reigns for the for the United States Championship. Another match Jericho will be happy about, as well as he will be facing Rollins at Roadblock. Owens has a third present. It's another match. It's a match Rollins is about to have right now, and Owens wants his opponent to come out. Big Show walks out, smiling and waving. Rollins versus Big Show is up next. Commercial break. Show versus Rollins. We return live. Universal Champion Kevin Owens remains at ringside. Big Show pushes Seth Rollins down immediately. Rollins with kicks and body shots to Big Show in the corner. Big Show pushes Rollins away quickly. Rollins more kicks, and Big Show levels Rollins with a big shoulder tackle. Owens is lapping and slapping the apron at ringside. Big Show with a huge chop to the chest of Rollins. Big Show with another chop to the chest. Show launches Rollins from the corner to the opposite side of the ring. Show with a splash into Rollins in the corner. Rollins takes out Big Show by kicking him in the knees. Big Show rolls out. Rollins goes for a suicide dive, but Show catches Rollins and drops him ribs first over the ring barricade. Owens is cheering on Big Show at ringside as he tosses Rollins back inside. Rollins counters a choke slam and hits kicks to the left leg of Big Show. Rollins pulls Big Show down, connecting with a kick to the face of Big Show. Rollins a springboard knee to the face of Big Show when nails another springboard knee to the face. Big Show remains on his feet. Rollins goes up to the top turnbuckle and connects with a third knee, this time taking Show down. Rollins goes for a pedigree when Owens distracts the referee. Big Show with a back chop to counter. Owens is back up yelling at Big Show to finish Rollins. Big Show grabs Owens by the throat. Big Show lifts Owens up and over the top, giving him a choke slam inside the ring. Big Show gets over the top rope and leaves to a big ovation from the crowd in Austin. Big Show heads up the ramp as the referee reaches the 10 count for the count out. After the match, Big Show claps for Seth Rollins at the top of the ramp. Owens starts to recover inside the ring when Seth Rollins hits him with a pedigree. Roman Reigns defends the U.S. Championship against Chris Jericho later on Raw. Was shown. Michael Cole saw Byron Saxton and Corey Graves plugged the 205 live premiere from last week, where Rich Swann captured the WWE Cruiserweight Championship on the premiere. Swann will be in action later tonight in the Cruiserweight action. Video package airs focusing on Jack Gallagher. Commercial break. Cruiserweight match, Jack Gallagher versus Ariya Daivari. Lock up and Daivari works over the left arm of Gallagher. Gallagher with a series of counters to work over the left arm of Daivari. Daivari countered into a side headlock, bringing Gallagher to the mat. Gallagher counters out and smiles, fixing his hair. And that does a little bit of curling his mustache. Daivari with a kick to the gut. Daivari with a snapmare and shoulder block on Gallagher. Gallagher with another counter, flipping Daivari away. Daivari with a big right hand and kick to Gallagher. As Gallagher with a serious drop kick counter on Daivari. Daivari cuts him off. Eats a huge headbutt from Gallagher as Gallagher shakes his head and connects with a running drop kick to Daivari in the corner. Gallagher quickly hooks the leg and gets a pinfall. After the match, Gallagher extends his hand to Daivari. Daivari shakes his hand and then kicks Gallagher in the knee. Daivari works away on the knee of Gallagher to end the segment. Sheamus and Cesaro versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson for the number 1 contenders match to challenge a New Day for the Raw Tag Team titles. Was advertised as later. Backstage, Titus O'Neil is handing out Tussle and Texas flyers. Commercial break backstage. Kevin is arguing with Foley about Big Show attacking him. Foley says Owens' match with Sami Zayn is still on tonight. Foley walks off and Owens spots Chris Jericho. He asks Jericho if he saw what happened. Jericho said he didn't and just arrived. Owens is happy to tell him about the title shot he has against Roman Reigns tonight and the match he has with Seth Rollins at Roadblock. He asked Jericho if they are good. Jericho disagrees and says they aren't good as he walks off. Backstage, Enzo Amore and Big Cass are talking. When they spot Rusev and Lana arguing, Enzo said he doesn't stand for a man yelling at a woman like that. Big Cass said it is none of his business. Enzo walks up and tells Rusev to calm down. Rusev tells Enzo to stay out of it. Lana said Enzo is just trying to help. Rusev calls Lana pathetic, and maybe she deserves a pathetic man like Enzo. Lana pulls Rusev back and asks what her ring means. Rusev said it means she is his wife. Lana says yes, and he is the only man that can have her. She throws down her wedding ring. Enzo tells Cass he can leave. He picks up the ring and gives it back to Lana. Enzo tells Lana he is a great listener and asks how she is doing, politely. Sami Zayn was out next as he heads to the ring. Zayn faces Kevin Owens next. Commercial break backstage. Lana is again talking to Enzo Amore and saying Rusev doesn't seem to appreciate it and takes her for granted. She thinks Rusev needs to be taught a lesson. Lana suggests if Rusev saw another man treating her nicely, he would take her for granted. She invites Enzo to her hotel room later in the evening. Set up. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. The bell rings and both Kevin Owens and Sami exchange right hands. Simultaneously punches. Zayn gets the better of Owens and rolls to the outside. Zayn with a clothesline to Owens on the floor and then sends him shoulder first into the ring barricade. Zayn then sends Owens again into the barricade on the other side of the ringside area. Then Sami breaks the count by the referee, gets in and right on Owens and tosses him back in. Owens with a huge kick to the head of Zayn as he is getting back inside the ring. Owens flips over the top rope and takes out Zayn. Owens tosses Zayn back in. Zayn hits the ropes and leaps over the top rope and takes out Owens. This time as we head to a commercial break. Back live. Owens has Zayn down in a headlock. Zayn attempts to come back, but Owens cuts him off. Zayn with a clothesline out of nowhere and then drops Owens. Zayn needs a kick to the chest from Owens, but counters with another clothesline. Zayn catches Owens with a quick tornado DDT from the corner, right on top of the ring apron. Zayn then launches through the ropes, and in the corner catches Owens with a DDT on the floor. Zayn then tossed Owens back inside the ring and connected with a hook German suplex for a 2 count. Both Zayn and Owens are in the corner. Owens with a twisting vertical suplex on Zayn off the second rope. More like a jackhammer type move. Owens gets a 2 count off the pinfall attempt. Owens nails a cannonball into Zayn in the corner. Owens gets a second cannonball on Zayn. Zayn avoids the third attempt. Goes for the exploder suplex. But Owens counters, hooking the arm of Zayn. Zayn counters with a slap to the chest and a springboard tornado DDT off the corner. Owens catches Zayn with a super kick while charging in. Owens goes for the pop-up powerbomb. Zayn counters with a half suplex and then connects with an exploder suplex in the corner. Zayn with a blue thunder bomb on Owens for a very close 2 count on the outside. Zayn with another exploder suplex and on Owens, sending him into the ring barricade. When Owens and Zayn slide back in, Owens throws Zayn up in the air and comes down with a pop-up powerbomb for the pinfall. Backstage, Jericho is at his locker room. Reigns walks up asking Jericho if he can just arrive here whenever he wants to. Jericho said that is all in his own business. Reigns asks if Jericho has car paint on his forehead still. Jericho falls for it. And then calls Reigns a stupid idiot. Reigns tells Jericho to be careful how he talks to him. Jericho thinks tonight Reigns' luck runs out and thinks tonight he will be the lucky man. Reigns thinks Jericho is still doing the dirty work for Kevin Owens. Reigns tells Jericho to get ready for tonight. Up next, we get the new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Commercial break. A video package running of highlights where Sasha Banks from winning the title for Charlotte last week in the Falls Count Anywhere match. Backstage, the new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, is interviewed about becoming a 3-time champion last week. Sasha said last week took everything out of her. She talked about walking into Charlotte's kingdom and walking out with a crown. Sasha then said Charlotte was crying because the better woman won. She thinks Ric Flair deserves better and can't wait to do it all over again with Charlotte. Sasha then asked about a rematch. She suggests that they make history yet again at Roadblock. Sasha challenges Charlotte to an Iron Man match in 2 weeks. Video from last May is shown of Charlotte cutting her father, Ric Flair, loose. Charlotte said she didn't need her father anymore and kicked him out of the ring. Charlotte then invited her father to Raw to make a public apology. New Cruiserweight Champion Rich Swann headed to the ring. Commercial break. Then we got the non-title match, Rich Swann versus TJ Perkins. They lock up. Perkins works over the left arm of Swan. Swan counters, working the left arm of Perkins. Perkins with a twisting head scissors, takedown, followed by a drop kick on Swan. Perkins gets a jab on Swan, smiling after hitting the quick series of offense. Swan with a flip counter, and he catches Perkins with a drop kick. Swan got a dab of his own in the direction of Perkins. Swan with a deep arm drag, a series of flips and counters, with Swan getting the jumping takedown clothesline on Perkins. Swan with a double stomp to the back of Perkins after hitting the ropes. Swan and Perkins then exchanging chops in the corner. Swan nails a side rushing leg sweep and connects with a rolling thunder for a 2 count. Swan pulls back on the arms of Perkins in a modified standing surfboard submission. Well, I got a comment from a buddy of mine that I worked with and also wrestled with. Court Caution commented that Swan stole his move, Rolling Thunder. It's actually RVD's move, Rolling Thunder. Stole some of his dance moves. I don't know about that. Never seen Court dance that much. Swan pulled back on the arms of Perkins in a modified standing surfboard submission. Perkins flipped out of kicking Swan away in the chin. Perkins with an atomic drop. Clotheslines and big right hands. Perkins with a splash in the corner on Swan. Gets him up in a tree of woe, and Perkins comes flying back with a jumping drop kick for a 2 count. Perkins then goes for the knee bar. Swan counters into a pinfall for a 2 count. Perkins with a drop toe hold on Swan into the ropes. Perkins then springboards off the corner, hitting a drop kick. Perkins springboard up, eats a super kick for Swan on the way down, and Swan gets the 3 count. Backstage, we see Bayley heading to the arena, and she's in action next. Bayley versus Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox with a big tackle early on as Bayley and follows with a big knees in the corner. Fox catches Bayley with a quick drop kick. Bayley with charges to Fox in the corner. Fox sends Bayley to the corner and then connects with a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Bayley nails boots to Fox in the corner. Bayley with a tackle and throws some big right hands. Fox with a boot to the face. Bayley nails the belly to Bayley. Bayley to Bayley. And Bayley gets pinfall win. After the match, Bayley hugs some young fans in the front row. Backstage, Enzo Amore talks with Big Cass about getting the invite to Lana's hotel room. Big Cass and Lana is nothing but trouble. Enzo has a text from Lana. It turns out to be a selfie. Enzo runs off to get changed. We see Rusev walk up to Cass and ask where Lana is. Cass said that isn't his problem. Rusev calls Cass a liar. Cass tells Rusev he lost his damn mind, putting his hands on him. As Rusev says, he will worry about Lana later and will instead go meet with Mick Foley to crush Cass in the ring later on. Mark Henry versus Titus O'Neil, a.k.a. the Tussle in Texas match. Commercial break. Tussle in Texas match. Mark Henry versus Titus O'Neil. The bell rings and Titus throws up the horns for Texas and then points down. Mark Henry immediately avoided a quick shot attempt by Titus, grabs Titus and hits the World Strongest Slam and gets a pinfall victory. After the match, Mark Henry slaps his hands with fans at ringside. Henry also jumps the ring barricade and celebrates with a veteran at ringside. Backstage, Enzo Amore is waiting for an Uber when a limo pulls up. Ric Flair gets out and embraces Enzo. Flair offers up his limo to Enzo after Enzo lets him in his plans. Lets him know his plans. Go take care of business, brother, adds Flair. As they do, woo, woo, woo. As Flair does. Roman Reigns defended the U.S. champion against Chris Jericho next. After commercial break, Roman Reigns headed to the ring. Then we get backstage. Chris Jericho telling Kevin Owens to stay out of his business. Ring introductions for the challenger, Chris Jericho, and champion Roman Reigns. Jericho goes after Reigns right away with the right hands, knees, and a headbutt in the corner. Reigns with a clothesline on Jericho from the corner. Reigns with the right to Jericho. Reigns with a forearm to the back of Jericho and follows with a back suplex for a 2 count. Jericho counters an early Superman attempt with a drop kick on Reigns. Jericho clotheslines Reigns over the top rope. Jericho gets up to the top turnbuckle, jumps and takes out Reigns with a crossbody on the outside as we head into a commercial break. Back live, Jericho has the upper hand with a headlock. Jericho is yelling, ask him, as a referee. Tap. Reigns fights to his feet, throwing shots to the body of Jericho. Jericho catches Reigns with a drop kick, but Reigns falls out of the way when Jericho charges in. Reigns with a jumping clothesline that drops Jericho. Jericho catches Reigns with a boot in the corner, but Jericho eats a right uppercut on the way down from Reigns. Jericho then tosses Reigns through the ropes. Jericho catches Reigns with a springboard dropkick off the corner when Reigns jumped up on the ring apron. Reigns caught Jericho with a drive-by dropkick on the ring apron. Jericho cut Reigns off with an elbow and lion salt combo for a 2 count. Jericho would nail a kick to the ribs on Reigns. Reigns with goes to the opposite. Reigns with a Samoan drop and then catches Jericho with a Superman punch. Reigns hooks his leg and Jericho kicks out at 2. Reigns is getting fired up in the corner. Jericho is getting to his feet in the opposite corner. Jericho catches Reigns with a boot. Jericho jumps up, going for a code breaker, but Reigns holds on and powerbombs Jericho for a 2 count. Reigns with kicks to Jericho in the corner as Jericho sends Reigns shoulder first into steel ring steps. Rolls up. Reigns gets a very close 2 count. Reigns counters out of the walls of Jericho attempt. Jericho goes for it again. Reigns with a small package, and Jericho kicks out at 2. Jericho with a kick to the head, trips up Reigns, turns him over into the walls of Jericho again. Reigns is pulling himself to the ropes. Reigns gets to the bottom rope to break up the submission. Jericho is distracting the referee. Kevin Owens with a super kick to Reigns on the outside. Jericho with a code breaker, hooks the leg, and Reigns kicks out. Owens is up on the ring apron and can't believe it. Owens is arguing with the referee. Jericho is asking Owens what he is doing. He told Owens to stay away from here. As Jericho stops Owens and says he doesn't need his help. Owens leaves and walks up the ramp. Jericho avoids the spear, hits the ropes, and Reigns catches him with a second spear, gets a pinfall win. Still U.S. champion, Roman Reigns. Coleslaw, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves look back at last May when Charlotte dropped her father as her manager. Big Cass headed to the ring. He faced Rusev. Back live, Rusev's music hits as Big Cass waits on him in the ring. His music continues to play, but no Rusev. Cass asks the referee what's going on. Cass shakes his head. Lana invited Enzo Amore to her hotel room. Cass leaves the ring and asks if someone has a phone. Cass is dialing, calling Enzo Amore. We see Enzo in the hotel room and his phone rings. Enzo ignores the call since he doesn't know the number. Enzo gets to Lana's door and she opens, dressed in a robe. Enzo doesn't think this is a good idea. Lana walks away crying. She then embraces Enzo with a big hug. Enzo says he is uncomfortable and she agrees. Lana then gets some drinks and bends over in front of him, smiling. She hands Enzo a glass and eats a strawberry near him. Enzo takes a drink and says he really has to go. Lana tears his shirt off and says he has to leave. She tells Enzo to take off his pants. Enzo reluctantly agrees. She says something and Enzo doesn't understand. Lana translates saying, "You're a fool." She calls for Rusev. Rusev is in the hotel room. Enzo tries to leave, but Rusev attacked him. Rusev tossed Enzo over a table, breaking it in half. He breaks a lamp over Enzo's back as well. Rusev continues the attack on Enzo as Lana cheers him on in the background. Rusev crushes a glass vase filled with flowers over the head of Enzo. Rusev drags Enzo out of the room and leaves him in the hallway. Lana puts a do not disturb sign on the door, closes it with Rusev inside. Into that segment, they cut to a commercial break. New Day out and broadcasting on Facebook Live, so they say. Number 1 contenders match, Gallows and Anderson versus Sheamus and Cesaro. We start off with Cesaro and Carl Anderson. Cesaro with a kip up attempt and finally gets it. Cesaro with a big uppercut to Anderson in the corner. Sheamus gets a hot tag and launches himself, hitting a shoulder block on Anderson. Anderson cuts off Sheamus with a high knee. Kick to the face. Tag to Luke Gallows, and Gallows drops Sheamus with a big boot. Sheamus fights back with a right, and Gallows with an uppercut. Sheamus with a backbreaker on Gallows. Gallows rolls out as Xavier Woods distracts him. Sheamus and Cesaro take each other out. Take out Anderson and Gallows on the outside. Sheamus tosses Gallows back in and throws a quick uppercut. Tag to Cesaro as Cesaro and Sheamus with a double suplex on Gallows. Commercial break. Back live. Cesaro and Gallows are now in the ring. Cesaro was elbow to Anderson trying to fight out of a headlock. Cesaro catches Anderson with a big boot and shots to Gallows in the corner. Anderson with a spine buster on Cesaro, cutting off a tag. Tag to Gallows. Anderson with a backbreaker, and Gallows drops an elbow over Cesaro for a 2 count. Tag back to Anderson. Anderson and Gallows go for a magic killer. Sheamus jumps into spin. Cesaro, who drops Gallows with a DDT. Cesaro dumps Anderson through the ropes to the outside. Hot tag to Sheamus, who levels Anderson with shots. Sheamus nails forearms to the chest of Anderson against the ropes. Sheamus with a rolling senton on Gallows. Sheamus gets a rolling senton on Anderson right over the ankle of Gallows for a 2 count. Anderson kicks Sheamus away. Cesaro tags himself in. Anderson dumps Sheamus out. Cesaro with a high crossbody on Anderson for a 2 count. Cesaro with a springboard spinning uppercut. Cesaro with a big boot to Gallows in the corner. Cesaro trips up Anderson. Clothesline Gallows over the top rope, and Anderson goes over with Cesaro. Sheamus and Cesaro send Gallows and Anderson into New Day at ringside. New Day attacks. Referee calls for the bell. No contest is a decision for match. After the match, Kofi is in the ring and jumps over. Sheamus and Cesaro catch Kofi and toss him into Xavier and Big E at ringside. Backstage, we see Charlotte heading to the arena. Commercial break. As a result of the prior match, New Day will now defend the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships against Sheamus and Cesaro and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson next week in a triple threat tag team match. It's confirmed that Sasha Banks will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte at WWE Roadblock in an Iron Man match. Charlotte's public apology to Ric Flair was your main event. Charlotte says she made a big mistake 6 months ago. She's ashamed of what she did and said, Charlotte said, if you don't recall what a cold-hearted bitch of a daughter she was, Charlotte wants to remind everyone and has footage played from last May. A video package from May of Charlotte telling her father, Ric Flair, she didn't need him anymore and kicking him out of the ring during her then reign as women's champion. We see Flair leaving the ring and crying as Charlotte sang the goodbye song, Adam. Back live, Charlotte says WWE means everything to her, and the title means everything to her. Fans are giving the what chant, and she wants the chant to explain. She said what was harder was watching her father get in the ring, put his arm around Sasha Banks and raise her hand. It was like my dad was saying, Sasha's the woman. It looks like he was saying Sasha was the athlete. All I ever wanted was my dad's approval. Charlotte said she only ever wanted her father to be proud of her. She always asked herself if she was good enough and how it was hard to be Ric Flair's daughter. Charlotte talked about sitting in the audience and watching Flair raise Sasha's hand. She said it broke her heart. Charlotte talks about not seeing her father in 6 months and that invited him to Raw tonight to give her a heartfelt apology. Dad, please come out here. Rick's music hit and out he came to the ring. Charlotte smiling as he enters the ring. Dad, I'm sorry, says Charlotte. She hugs her father. Rick backs off. Then Charlotte gives him another huge slap and calls him a B word and says, I'm your daughter. I'm your flesh and blood. Charlotte asks who Sasha thinks she is to dedicate her victory to her father. Sasha Banks then enters the ring, and Charlotte cuts her off, attacking her. Charlotte pulls back on the head of Sasha, then kicks her out of the ring. Rick is still looking on from the corner as Charlotte jumps out and continues attacking Sasha. Charlotte launches Sasha back first into the ring barricade. Sasha smiles at her father standing over Sasha. Charlotte grabs Sasha again, lifts her up and sends her face first into the steel ring post. Charlotte then yells, "I'm the woman." She grabs Sasha and calls her pathetic. Charlotte tosses a lifeless Sasha back inside the ring and yells, "Sasha, well, who?" Rick is crying as Charlotte drags Sasha near him. Show goes off the air with Charlotte laughing and clapping at Sasha yelling, "Well done, Sasha." Well, after Raw went off the air, Rusev came back to the ring, started talking trash about Enzo and America. And you can see a video of what happened there. As Big Cass cleared the ring of Rusev and sent the fans home happy. And there was no post-show dark match. And thanks to Wrestling Inc. Reader at _Justin96. And that concludes my Raw results and main event spoilers for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I want to be. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.